are happy with, that you are willing to use. Some people got creative and they made a storage space for the tiles not being used. I thought that was kind of funny. If you really don't like the one on your paper, you can flip the paper, but that would obviously take some effort from you and your teammate. Or you can just shift to a different part of the paper. There should be Sharpies in your bin. Right? There should be a couple Sharpies in your bin left from last period. The line down the middle should be dotted, not solid. It should be dotted. Kind of like a fence. You can kind of see through. I mean, you want it kind of big, so you can put so like this or something small. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, I mean, you want it about the size of a piece of paper, maybe a little smaller, but. Is there a reason that we keep rearranging furniture over our head? It's like the third time I've seen you pick a chair up.
I mean, it's easier to do it over your head than over your back. That's what I've learned.
I mean, yeah.
Quiet, Max. I didn't ask you. Huh? Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to start playing with these tiles. But guys, this is not arts and crafts. So please, you have some learning to do. Like, there is some learning to be learned today. So I know I'm going to be asking you to have a lot of self-control. Some of us are already showing that we might struggle with this today. When we're building these, this rectangle is your preserved space to do the math. Whatever else you want to do with the tiles, if you've already done what I asked you, that's fine. I don't care if you're doing something else as well, as long as you've already done the math. So in your rectangle, right now, we need to place 5 positives and 3 negatives, which, reminder, the filled in tiles are positive. The empty tiles are, guys, look up here real quick. I wore this shirt for 2 reasons. This text of Worthington and like established 1803, which that's a long time ago. This is negative space. It's legit what it's called when you're designing, like when you're making like graphic designs. These words aren't printed on the shirt. The opposite is actually true. The edges are printed and the words are empty. They're negative space. So something that is left empty is considered negative, but we can't actually have like empty tiles because that would be weird. So instead, we use red for the negatives. So you're going to put 5 positives. I would not use the connected 5 tile because obviously we can't disconnect that. So I would use 5 positives, 2 negatives, 3 negatives. And then go ahead and make the right side happen as well. Yeah, the gray up there is positive. It is filled in. Your blue, purple, but like, so it depends which tile you're looking at. Red is always negative. Red is always negative. So I believe we should have this. And then don't do anything else until we come back together. So you can doodle or you can. So remember, this is preserved. These aren't involved right now. We're only using ones. So like we have to match the size. And like these are different, right? This is technically an x long. This is technically an x squared. So we need to use the ones. So get rid of that. You need only ones. You might need to fish some more out of there. Yeah. There's nothing. Where's your right side? It's so much. I get it. I'm asking way too much out of you. I'm sorry. I'll calm down a little bit. Get out these 10 things and then do whatever else you want. I know it's too much for a Monday. Oh, for the record, because I'm a math teacher and I should flex when I have the chance to flex. I won a poker tournament this weekend. I didn't win any money because we gave all the money to our friend who is having a kid to buy diapers. But yeah, the mathematician won the poker tournament. So. Who what? Ha 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 ha. Yes.
So we had to do these square things for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And there was 3 seconds left, and they scored. So then my mom won it instead of me.
Oh man.
Final quarter, I won $25.
Nice. I won 50 cents last night with my friends in our little.
I won $70.
But I got back the money. Like we did $10, $1 little like things, and yeah. But yeah, squares are fun too. All right, so getting back to math. Caleb, if I give you, if you owe somebody $1 and you have $1, what happens? They take the dollar and you don't have one anymore, right? So essentially, a debt. Hey guys, at this point, if you're still digging for tiles, you took way too long. So just stop. Please and thank you, Emily. So if I have a negative with a positive, what happens? They cancel, and technically, guys, they become zero because a debt and a positive wipe each other out. So this can make a 0, and this is why on your desk, you're going to slide it out of the rectangle, but keep it somewhere close because we're going to use that again probably. Make all the zeros that you can find and get rid of them. But guys, hold on. You cannot cross this fence. This is like the fence between you and your neighbor. Like you cannot go across it. This is 2 separate properties. We got like left side, right side. So I can make zeros with what's over on the left. And then separately, I can make zeros with what's on the right. But they are separate. So make as many zeros as you can. I'm going to look for help in just a second. So like, go ahead and try it on your own because then I'm going to pull more cards for who can help me. Xavier, unnecessary.
Can you add some from the storage box?
Liam, talk me through the rest of your process here.
For the left one, I got 3 zeros.
So for the well, if I put these back to how we started, yeah, so 3 zeros. Sweet. So those all disappear, right?
And for the right one, I got 2 zeros.
For the right one, we make 2 zeros. So what's this leave us with on the left side compared to the right side?
I think I got 1 extra.
Unless I goofed up.
3. No, you were right.
Yeah, I think I got it.
I actually had 6. So there's 2 positives on the left and 3 negatives on the right.
Guys, which would you rather have? $2 in your pocket or owe somebody $3? Yeah, like obviously we'd rather have the positive. So this is where inequality symbols come in. We remember that the gator eats the bigger number. We likely remember that. But what is this called? Do you remember that, Sammy? Who was that up here? Caleb? Greater than. So we would say 2 is greater than 3. Guys, look up here again real quick. I'm sorry because this is probably going to bother you once I tell you. I have 2 of these. I never wear this one, okay, because they sent me another one. Anyone notice what's wrong with my shirt aside from I'm probably pit sweating because that's always. Guys, I can find the middle of my chest real easy because I have a scar right here from my heart surgery. If this is the middle of my chest, my shirt's lopsided. Do you see how the image is more over here than it is over here? right? If I fold it down the middle, this side has more than this side, and it's like a thing your brain picks up on. So as soon as I saw this, like I got this shirt, I was like, yay, free t-shirt broken. Because it was obvious as soon as I put it on. I'm like, I can't teach math wearing a shirt that's lopsided. So I called the district people, and they're like, yeah, we'll send you another one. And I was like, what do you want done with this? Like, oh, just keep it. I was like, this bothers me. I'm never going to wear this to school. But I decided when we're comparing left side, right side, so if I was going to use an inequality, right, I'd say the left, from your perspective, the left side of my shirt is greater than the right side because it has more ink on it, right? That's just a weird, like your brain picks up on when things are lopsided. And that's kind of what we're doing right now is we're comparing left side to right side. So let's try another. Build this. Now hold on. You need to actually care about the x squared that they show us up here. That's the blue square tile. X squared is your blue square tile because your blue tile is our X tile. So please remember that. Build that, mat A, mat B. And then we will simplify it together. We will then simplify it together.
Oh, this is confusing.
Why is it confusing? Words are empty.
Why?
That's pretty deep. Karaoke actually stands for empty orchestra.
You know, that is. But he said it.
Mila. Crap, I'm not even built yet. We're not ready to move on. I know I have to finish prepping everything before I can start, right? So guys, the beginning of this process, hey, we're coming back together. The beginning of this process is sort of like when your parents like tell you to clean your room or whatever, like, and you say like, well, it's fine, like it's all my stuff. And they're like, yes, but it's all over the place. Your sock is hanging off your fan, your shirt is like on the chair, your pants are like, so this process, we really start, I hate to say it, but we start by essentially cleaning up whatever we can. It's like we always want to clean up those zeros, right? Because like imagine you've got that pair of socks that goes in the drawer, essentially like you make it disappear, right? You make it go away so your parents can't see it and yell at you again about it. So if I've got this built, when I've got this built here, Mila, what's one thing I can clean up and get rid of? The X tiles on the left side, okay, because I have a positive X and negative X. Whoop. Grace, what's another thing I can clean up? And guys, you should be doing this with me, please, if you haven't done it already. Can I cancel out anything else on the left side? No. Can I cancel out anything on the right side? So the X's over here, let's pair those up and get rid of them. I'll take a volunteer for if anybody has any other ideas. Lucy?
Well, oh wait, never mind. You can't go over the border. Never mind.
Use typing process or algebra equations to try to solve for x.
Yeah, but now you're saying a bunch of math words, and like that's kind of scary, complicated. So let's, all right, pause for a second. Lucy sees me out on the playground. Can I put you in my story, Lucy? Lucy sees me on the playground and I'm sad. I'm sitting on the teeter-totter, but there's no totter. There's only teeter because I'm alone. And Lucy's like, Mr. Hudson, you need someone to play with. I'm like, yeah, well, all you do is talk about math. People don't want to play with. She's like, oh, well, I'll think. So Lucy gets on the other side of the teeter-totter. Do you think anything happens? No.
Oh
What?
no, it might go up.
Yes. I said yes.
But depends on how.
Well, it depends on who's heavier.
Yeah, it does.
But you can't.
I mean,
The way you start first in class.
Honestly, like so.
yeah, so honestly, Lucy's small, and I don't think we would be evenly balanced So I think this would be unequal, right? But let's take a moment and say if somehow I was matched up, like, you know, actually one of my friends goes to the park with me and we actually do balance on the teeter-totter, I can do whatever on one side as long as I do the same thing on the other. So let's imagine you have two friends on the teeter-totter, perfectly balanced. You walk over and you hand one of them a 10-pound weight. Their side goes down. What do you need to do to the other side to fix it? Hand them a 10-pound weight. Now you go take away the 10-pound weight from your one friend. What do you need to do to keep balance? Take it away from your other. So guys, we now, even though this teeter-totter might not be balanced, we're going to say we can do whatever we want as long as we do it to both sides. So remember, you can't go across the middle line. These are separate sides. But Lucy, do you have an idea of what we could do to both sides?
On the A map, we could take away the 1 so it could have 4.
By the 1, you mean the x squared?
No,
Like one of these ones? So you mean -1, right? Okay, so if we take away a -1 over here, we got to also do it over here. So at the same time,
Oh, then we add.
take away a negative from both sides. Go ahead and we just grabbed a negative from both sides. Take it away. I guess that's the sound effect now. So Xavier, what can I do now?
You can get rid of the 3 negative ones on both sides, and then get rid of the x squared.
Ooh, hold up. So I can get rid of 3 -1s on both sides. Sweet. I'll do all 3 at the same time because I have enough fingers for that. And then Xavier went ahead and did 2 steps. He also said get rid of the x squared. Are these the same? Yeah. So do the same on both sides. Wow. So lonely. I am so wait. So what is this? Hold on. Which would you rather have? No money or owe somebody $1?
No money.
No money. In that case, no money is better. No money is bigger. We would say, hey, I don't know why people are just straight up talking over me. I thought we had a better relationship than that, but if I need to reestablish a seating chart or whatever else, we can. I don't want to, being honest. That's a waste of time. You just need to have self-control. -1 is less than 0. Because this is 0. We don't say there's some people struggle with there's nothing there, so what do I write? Well, if there's nothing there, we write 0. So go ahead and set up this mat and try to do all the cleaning up. Now, always make zeros first. Right? My advice is always make your zeros first. You'll need these in a minute. You can leave them for now. You'll need these in a minute, and that is also your homework. Also your practice. You'll need these in a minute. It's also your practice for tonight. Yeah, guys, this is why you got partners. Double check that you're both counting the same way because it's easy to accidentally count wrong. I try to group, and groups of 3 or less are normally easier to see. How many positives do we have on the left? 7 positives on the left, and then also that negative, and then also that X. I'm going to scooch this so I can try to bring my little image over. All right, so my negative, I need to scooch this up for us to see everything. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a negative, and an X. All right, ready to build this side. Mason, how would you start this?
Get rid of the X's.
So we can get rid of an X from both sides. And I'll go ahead and do that first. But guys, I will tell you, it's safer to do zeros first. But
Good morning, Phoenix. Can we please have Daniel Molesky to the office? Daniel Molesky, please come to the office.
sorry, what was that, Grace?
Why would you get rid of the big
So we don't have to do this first, but since it's the same on both sides, kind of like the teeter-totter, if I take something away from one side, I have to do it on the other, or I essentially broke this situation. Like if I just take one of these away, this is no longer equal to what I started with, and we're trying to keep it equal to this image right here, right? So if I take both of these away, it is still the same as what they showed me here, because I'm allowed to cancel things that are the same on both sides of our teeter-totter. So since I took both of these away, I'm still the same. I preserved the situation. It's like giving that 10-pound weight to both friends on the teeter-totter. If you just give it to one of them, that's not really fair. It's not really good. Gauge, what could I do now? Always ask yourself, are there any zeros? So how do I make the zeros? 1 positive, 1 negative from the left side, gone. And then 2 positive, negative pairs from the right side. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Yes, thank you. All right, now wait. Bianca, thoughts at this point? Sure, if we want to keep cleaning this up as much as possible, I can take these 2 off of this side as long as I do the same over here. So please do this with me. Guys, the reason that we're doing this is it activates your brain differently. If you're sitting there and saying, nah, I don't need to do this, I'm telling you, this activates your brain differently. So now, is there anything else I can do on both sides, or am I essentially done, Xavier?
You're done, but I have a question.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why you would do this, but like, if you wanted to, could you like take off 1 off of the left and then just like add a negative on the right?
So here's a different question that I'll answer your question with. Am I allowed to bring in a negative tile to both sides? Is it doing the same on both sides?
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm allowed to do that.
Well, I mean, like,
Hold on. I got you, okay? Trust me. Now, can you put this with that? Would this disappear? Did we essentially just do what you just said? Yeah. So the answer of can you do that? What do you think? Yes. So yes, you can do that. So, but here, I mean, that kind of makes this more complicated. So I sort of like what we had, but you're right. We could 100% do what you just said. But right now I have what's on the left side? What's on the left side? What's on the right side? So what symbol would we put between them? Hey friends, look at the paper I just put on your desk. Look at the top right. Here's all the names of your symbols. So this one, since we're saying the gator wants to eat the 4, we can check here and say 4 is greater than 0, right? We would rather have 4 than have 0. Try one more. Let's do, you guys want to pick whether we do A, B, C, or D? A? All right, I heard A first. We're doing A.
C.
Do A. We're going to reset. We're doing A now.
No.
We're doing A. Nope. We will do a homework problem or 2 or 3 before you leave, but this one is still not on your paper. We're just doing this on the mat. I helped you out with the left side. Now be careful, we don't want to actually write that into the Sharpie because that won't always be the case. So we might want to somehow, like, yeah, like maybe to say like that's not always true. So like really what we have in the middle here is a question mark comparing the two sides if you want to write anything.
It's very fun. mess around in the school library for like
So why are we going to this? Because we're looking up there. Because this is different than that, right? So we don't necessarily want to involve anything purple right now because we haven't used any purples or greens. We haven't used any of those up here yet. Green is actually X, Y. So you pull out the green tile, you can see it's the same length as X, and it's the same width as the other one that we have. So if we call this X, and we call this Y, the length to this is XY. Because he didn't treat you good enough. X, Y, right? Explaining your X. By the way, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. If anyone needs that reminder, best place to get flowers. Well, best by being affordable and having nice flowers. Trader Joe's. This lesson has been brought to you by Trader Joe's and their fantastic selection of flowers. No, but it'd be so funny if somebody like sent me like $5 and they're like, "Hey, we watched your math lesson," because people watch my math lessons. I'm being sarcastic.
You have more, no, because you have more subscribers than most people. So
This video is brought to you.
My 300 subscribers.
yeah, not all of them can be your students because I doubt you've had 300
Well,
different students
Um,
who have YouTube and have.
if I've been teaching for 11 years and I have approximately 80 kids each year, how many students has Mr. Hudson taught? Approximately. It's like almost 1,000.
Yeah, but it's not like everybody would subscribe.
Well,
so-
you're right. But... All right, I need some help.
I'm subscribed.
Isa, how could I start? This is a mess. By getting what zeros? I need to find the zeros before I can get rid of them. You just do. So, can anyone help Isa with the words, Lucy, for what we're trying to just do here? Ooh, pair up, right? Careful saying equal out, but pair up a positive and a negative, and that makes 0. Make as many. Guys, I'm going to prep my zeros before I move them out so that you can see them. Prep that, prep that, prep that. So all of those were zeros, and I have these left over. So find all the zeros you can and get them out of here. Right, 0, 0, 0, 0. On the right side, Emily, can you help me out? On the right side, what I need to do?
So what you need to do on the right side is you need to get three positive X's and 3 negative X's. And
Ooh,
get
not
them-
X's. These are 1s.
Right. And you need to get them out of there.
Get out of here. All right, so do you want to keep going or you want to move on?
I mean, I guess I could keep going. So you want to get rid of. Hold on. Are we? No, they're not. Okay. So you want to get rid of the 2 1s on each side.
That might help. 2 X's or 1s? Oh, 2 1. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
2 1. Guys, check it. Emily's being a bit smarter and saying, I don't have to work one at a time. I can say positive 2 here, positive 2 there. I'm going to take 2 away from each side, and that's going to still be balanced because it's still the same, like it's balanced. So now, Sammy, I can take away the X's because they're the same on both sides. 0 and 1. Which one's bigger? The 1. Hey, friends, realize we don't want to draw this on your paper because this changes. So if you drew an inequality on your paper, you probably want to cross that out because this keeps changing. Sometimes it's actually equal. Nice. So, like, yeah, we might need to eventually change this to an equals. Hold up. Look at your homework paper. Let's do a homework problem together. Okay, so you get asked to do this on your homework here in problem 6. And you have a reminder of positive negative. right? Here's our reminder of the gray is positive, the empty is negative. So now unless I like grab a pair of scissors and start cutting out my paper, I can't probably slide things around. So can anyone guess how we're going to draw pairing up zeros and getting rid of them on our practice? William, you want to make a guess?
Circle the zeros and then maybe cross them out if you want to. If that helps.
Circle the pairing, right? Circle the pairing, and really we get rid of them. So you could like cross them out, or you could draw an arrow showing like, hey, those go away. And I kind of make my circle look like a zero. Can I make another one of those here?
Yes.
With what?
The
The
X in
x's. Well, the x and the negative x, right? Can I do it again? Now hold up. Guys, these, hey, look up here real quick because we're almost out of time. These are not left side, right side because they're not adjacent to each other. Like we had these adjacent connected to each other. These are two separate problems. This one's done. It's -2. Like you're done with this problem. If you write -2, you're done. You're done. So then B, make zeros and then write what's left over. It's all the time we got for today. Have a wonderful Monday.